Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullet, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
At Jin Jin Super King Buffet, high-quality, fresh ingredients are the key to delicious-tasting Chinese and Japanese cuisine.
Enjoy a variety of buffet options, including create your own hibachi, the sushi bar, and more. Add crab legs to your buffet for an additional $9.99 per pound.
Jin Jin Super King Buffet has lunch and dinner options available for you 7 days a week. Ask about their catering room for special events.
You'll love the friendly atmosphere, excellent service, and affordable prices at Jin Jin Super King Buffet, located at 9802 Front Beach Road, right next to Wonderworks.
WGSX 18 WTOT W271DN Mariana, WBLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tiger TV Pro is a new streaming service that provides you with over 3,000 channels for only $15 a month. You probably spend more than that on lunch these days. Get local channels, entertainment networks, premium movie channels, news and weather channels, and more. Tiger TV Pro even includes all the sports networks, including ACC, SEC, NFL, MLB, and NHL. Sign up's easy. Just go to ESPNPC.com, scroll down, and click the Tiger logo.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
People can't pass a hit man. And welcome and good morning, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, you caught me. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to go today. Good job, John. I'm never ready to go, but it's Thursday. It's cold. It's not as cold as I thought it was going to be, but it's pretty cold. Jerry Prison's with us like all Thursdays. You got shorts on, so it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, as long as it's not windy.
Yeah, you're right. Yesterday, what day was it windy?
Yesterday was cutting. Yeah. It really was. I tell people it's that wet cold around here.
Yeah.
You know, where you just, comes across the Bay or the Gulf. That's different.
You hear John there laughing. Hey, I miss you, man. I wish you were in here with us.
We'll take that window out.
Yeah, we're gonna throw a rock at something. You got your eyes on it? Yeah, I got you. Randy, love you, brother. We got our Pepsi cooler back. I was missing that for the first almost 2 weeks, didn't have it. Now we got it in there. All those wonderful Pepsi products, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, lemonade, you name it, we got it, water. And Fred's with it. Fred, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Fred Hapner, and I'm the director here for the local Guardian Ad Litem office here in Panama City. We advocate for abused and neglected kids here in the community. So we're a volunteer-based program, and we have volunteers and staff that speak on behalf of kids that are currently in the system and try to look out for them while they're in the middle of all the craziness that goes on.
Well, thank you for what you do. Yeah. Jeremy, are you familiar with that?
Yeah, somewhat, and I think the important part there is being involved in the lives of our young people.
Absolutely.
Having positive influences, particularly for those who've had a rougher start, getting going in life, that there are those that actually do care and come alongside, walk with them. So
absolutely, absolutely. Well, I tell you, Fred, I don't know you from Prattville, and we're from Montgomery, or Jeremy's from Weewall, but lived in Montgomery. So we got to ask you, it's a very important question.
Okay.
Are you Bama? Are you Auburn, Florida State? What are you?
Well,
I mean, what really are you?
I have been a true diehard Seminole for years. So I've had season tickets for many, many years, even way back in the day when they really weren't. They were just kind of beginning out with Coach Bowden and stuff like that. So I've been through the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, and
are you
right
okay
now,
then?
Kind of in the medium stage, but yeah, I've been a Florida State guy for a long time.
You're okay then. You're one of us, and
right,
we'll let you sit in here now.
Good.
If you're going to say something, we got enough Buckeyes. You ever listen on Friday? It's Buckeye City. Mm-hmm. I got 2 Buckeyes in here, and they're both beat me in picks. Mm-hmm. Of course, they pick. I have no control. Like you pick a lot of the Southern teams. Ryan will pick stuff from everywhere, and you've got Jason. I think they all get together and plan up and scheme up, and they're taking me down. This is the first time I've lost.
Bowling Green versus Akron.
Yeah, all kind of weird. Yeah, I know.
That's a guaranteed game for an SEC to start the year. So, yeah.
Before you got in here, Jeremy and I were talking, and we still can't get over, Bama losing. We looked at every angle of it. I thought they were outcoached. I thought the officiating was terrible on both sides. Not only Alabama. They messed over. But did you see the official? Honest to God, it looked like he was cheering when Tennessee scored. Did you see that?
I did see that little Twitter where he pulled his hands together there.
Either he was flexing or cheering or something.
Yeah, they just had a terrible day all the way around.
The commissioner had a nice phone call with that whole group, and it just wasn't a good look.
It was not a good
on
look
either side
for that ball game.
Yeah,
for that ball game. So,
and we got a football player punched, I guess.
Well, now I've seen the clip, and I don't know, and obviously it's going to be investigated. But this is getting a lot more scrutiny than most of the replays on Sunday afternoon, and I'm not condoning any type of activity where but the one angle I've seen, the crowd, you're in the stands very, very far away. Does he see her? Is it intentional? That's hard to tell from that tape.
And we're talking about Alabama Burton, the transfer from
Jermaine
Georgia.
Burton, yeah.
Was it a female?
It was, and it's just hard to tell what you're looking at there as to whether there was intent, whether it was.
Well, when 100,000 people are on the field with you is kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
And did you hear about Terry Good, what they did to him?
I heard he had a very difficult time getting out of the stadium.
They threw drinks all over him. He's in a wheelchair. He has health issues. Was it his son or family member?
Yeah, son's on the other side for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was ugly on both ends. Whatever did happen. So I hated that. But you got to give Tennessee congratulations. They won the game. They looked really good. Their offense. Let me ask you this, Jeremy. They remind me a lot of the 2019 LSU offense. I'm not saying it's that good yet, but maybe it could be. The problem with them compared to LSU in 2019, LSU's defense was in the top 50. Tennessee's defense is around 100 now, I think, nationally. But they can improve, and their schedule gets somewhat easier after they get through Kentucky and they get through Georgia. Could this be the 2019 LSU team, or is it not enough defense?
I don't see it. Not taking anything away from Tennessee, victory, they won the ball game. But I said before the ball game, Alabama could beat Alabama. Tennessee couldn't beat Alabama. Alabama beat Alabama.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So this is not LSU, Joe Burrow.
And when I say Alabama beat Alabama, I'm not talking just the players. I'm talking the entire program.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's on the coordinators. And I'll say it again, the head coach listens. The head coach makes the final decision. He could have stopped everything that went on, and it didn't. So I don't think they should be hating on both coordinators. Offense coordinator, well, anyway. I'll shut up at that. What did you think about it? Did you watch the game?
Yeah, well, I saw bits and pieces that we were over in Tallahassee at the ball game, but I heard the big cheer behind us when they had somebody on the TV that Tennessee had made the kick, and some people were cheering for that. But I think like you guys are thinking, there were some calls that could have been maybe a little bit different, and then it was a good win, of course, in Tennessee. I mean, everybody thinks Alabama's falling apart now. From some of the stuff I've been reading and listening to, but Alabama's going to be there. But great college football game.
Yeah, it was. It was a good game. I mean, if you like high scoring games, you like it. I guess.
I would say this: Bryce Young looks just fine.
And that kid is unbelievable. You see what he said after the game? What a man.
Had Bryce Young not played,
we got killed.
It would have been a contest.
Yeah, we got killed. Yeah. No doubt about that.
He single-handedly kept Alabama in the game.
John, I got something for you, or I'm back with a Putin update. He's done it again. Twice he's done it again. A grizzly bear, you see that? A grizzly bear, 4 wrestlers, and I probably said that wrong, like always, most stuff I say. They're out in Wyoming, walking. They're in a wooded area, and they look up, and all of a sudden, they hear it. Here comes this huge grizzly bear coming through the trees and attacked them. Well, at least they fought the bear off. 4 college, I think they were college. You see this, Jeremy?
No.
There's a picture. If I can pull up later, I'll show you. They're bandaged up. They're cut. They got bit. They got attacked. But thank goodness 4 of them. And one actually jumped on the back of that grizzly when he was on his buddy. Now, Jeremy, I'll be honest with you. They jump on you. We're out in Montana somewhere. I'm running. I can't do it. But anyway, those guys fought that bear off, and I think it shocked the bear a little bit. So he went off, and they take off running and get away from the bear. And they all went to the hospital. They're all going to survive. It's an incredible story. It's on Facebook. It's on the national news. And then, sadly, there was another attack. I think it was in Connecticut. I'm not sure about which state. A 10-year-old little boy is out in the backyard playing, and they hear this noise. Sure enough, a bear attacked the kid. They went out there, and people were a neighbor actually was hitting it. A couple of them hitting the bear and everything. And I believe, for last thing I heard, this kid has survived that also. So it's true. We're being attacked. Putin's getting us every way he can. Putin oil, Putin economy, Putin animal attacks. Unbelievable. I'll wait till Friday to rant more on Putin. But anyway, Joey Galloway, Jeremy, this is his top 6. I'm going to ask both of you guys, what are your top 6 right now? Herbstreit has it. Danny Cannell has his top 6. There's probably nobody from the SEC in it because he hates it so much. But Joey Galloway is a Big Ten Buckeye also. Mm-hmm. Listen to his. Number 1, Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Tennessee. I could live with all 3 of those and what we've seen so far. Number 4, Clemson. Number 5, Michigan. See, he didn't like Michigan. I think Michigan deserves to be in the top 4. And number 6, not Alabama, Ole Miss. Ole Miss. What's your top 6 right now?
I would go 1, Georgia. You're the defending national champions until you're not. And all this moving around, you want to be number 1, beat number 1.
Okay.
They're there. Okay. Until they lose. Number 2, probably Ohio State. Very untested, so we really don't know. And this is one of those situations that kind of feels like the old Big 8, where you had Nebraska and Oklahoma play at the end of the year, and they hadn't played anybody till they played each other. Right. So I'll put Ohio State 2. In the 3 spot, I'm going to put Clemson. I'm starting to buy in a little bit. I wasn't quite sure, but I think Dabo may be getting his sea legs, and they're certainly going to be fresh. Okay. And they're going to move through. 4, Michigan. You got to position that. It's a knockout game coming at some point. Number 5, Tennessee. Still questionable on the defense, but they're getting their shot at Georgia. And then number 6, it's wide open at that point. I think there's a lot of teams could get in that slot, so I don't know that I'm going to lock in a number 6. I'm not even sure Alabama deserves the 6th slot until they get some things worked out, because it's bounce back week for them. But, if I had to put somebody 6th, I probably would be Bama.
I think it's their homecoming game, too, isn't it?
Yeah. I probably would put Bama. I mean, you look at the other unbeatens out there. You have Alabama playing Syracuse, who you going to take?
I got Bama number 1. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Fred, who you got?
I jotted down a few while you guys were talking about them. Mine are very similar, I think, from just what I've seen a little bit. I think Georgia's there at number 1 right now. It's hard to take that from them. You were saying a minute ago, that they were on top, so you got to beat the best. You got to beat them, take them out. Ohio State, I agree once again. I think they still got some games that are going to come up and really test who they are, but, they've passed the test so far. Michigan, I like them, like you were saying. They've kind of flown under the radar a little bit. Maybe it's been their schedule.
They're better than I thought, yeah.
But they seem to be strong. Clemson, of course, they just beat my Florida State team. Still maybe a little iffy, but I think they're getting stronger as time's going on with their quarterback. Then I had Tennessee. I think you have to put them up there. And then either Ole Miss or Bama. I don't think you can drop Bama too far. I mean, maybe a little slip up. Some things didn't go quite their way, but they're still a very good team.
I thought Jeremy's really hard on them. They were defending. They were runners up. They won the SEC last year. I think he just threw under. But really, my feelings are hurt. I think you've gotten around with those Buckeyes too much. No, that was good. Both of y'all did a good job. I got Georgia, or really, I kind of think Ohio State would take care of Georgia. I might be wrong, but I'll go with you guys just because what you said earlier. They're defending national champs. Georgia 1, Buckeyes 2, 3. I'd go Michigan, 4 Tennessee, 5 Clemson, 6 Bama. That's what I still Clemson. Really they beat some decent teams.
Yeah, ACC's decent, but there's not that matchup you're just anticipating in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah.
They're going to run the table now. They're pretty much home free.
There's no
There's
doubt.
the road trip to Notre Dame, and there's Syracuse.
Notre Dame's terrible.
Yeah, that's it.
I always say the schedule, then injuries also. But if you got an easy, I'll be honest with you, though, on paper, Bama's better than everybody they play, too. And they didn't get it done.
Didn't get it done.
That's
why you play the game.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. They get it done every single day. That's the reason we love them. J. Michael's restaurant yesterday, we had an unbelievable meal. Great time down there. And we lost one of their fine customers down there. Had been going there for years. He had passed away. It's sad about that. Everybody was disappointed about that and upset. Again, because it's just like, you go to J. Michael's, it's kind of like Cheers. Everybody knows your name. Great place to go. The food's incredible. Wednesday had that world-famous spaghetti. It was really good. Then, I had the opportunity to go down to Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, and we had Phil Cobb and I went down there, and we had pizza. We had the Paradise Cake. I broke my diet, doggone it, but it was incredible, I'm telling you. And Phil Cobb goes, this place is really, really good. And it was packed out. So that's two great ones right there. They run by two wonderful men. Jay Michaels is a legend around here, and John is a retired police officer. Two great individuals, and they do a great job of their business. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. It feels good right now. You guys feel pretty good. Oh, yeah. We always feel good. Thank you, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Buffalo Rock, mentioned it. We got our cooler back in here. Freddie, you want anything to drink, it's right there. Okay. Get whatever you want anytime. Appreciate all those wonderful people down at Buffalo Rock. And your real estate needs, all real estate needs. Can't forget about Chuck Tucker, South Oak, title and closing. We get back. Hopefully we'll have Mosley's football coach. They got a big win last week, and I think they got a pretty big game this week. We'll be right back. You listen to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, 101.9 Fort St. Joe. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Hurricane Ian has impacted residents here in Florida, and we're collecting items people need immediately. Non-perishable food like peanut butter and items that you don't need to cook, cases of bottled water, cleaning supplies, baby food, first aid, batteries. Items can be dropped off at our new offices, 204 Suite B, Ellen Lane, Panama City Beach, or at Panama City Toyota. Hurricane Relief America, sponsored by Event Productions and Blab TV. More info at espnpc.com.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, cool temperatures 65 to 70, and light northwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf is 76. Mostly clear around 46 tonight. Mostly sunny Friday in the mid to upper 70s, and more the same for the weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
His biggest fear about the zombie apocalypse is all the walking. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Thursday. It's Mosley Day. A school, unbelievable athletics, great coaching staff, unbelievable athletic director. Coach Lee does a great job. I always thought maybe we'd get him out of retirement to coach baseball again, but I don't think it's going to happen now.
I don't think that's going to happen, no. I think he's going to be in that AD role, calling balls still. So.
Wonderful man. Comes from a wonderful family, too. Yep. And he hired a wonderful head football coach, and I think we got him right now. Coach Whitten. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. We got Jeremy in here today. Tommy's out today. Fred, we got Fred in here with us today. Fred, say hi to Coach.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Do you know Coach?
Yeah, I help assistant coach at Mosley for the boys soccer team. So I keep on all the happenings of course, Mosley athletics and stuff like that. So
they got a great program over there. No doubt about that. Yeah. Excuse me. All right, Coach, y'all get a big win last week. 38 points on Crestview, 38-26. This week, I tell you what, if we're getting this coming up game, can you give us a little breakdown about the game and give us some names of the players that did a really good job for you?
Yeah, no, I thought we did a really great job. You know, offensively, putting a lot of points on the board. Sammy Freitas continued to play really good for us. Threw 3 touchdown passes, over 200 yards. C.J. Chima, our running back, had his best game of the year. Had 166 yards rushing. Randy was Randy. Had 3 touchdowns, close to 100 yards receiving. And then the defense did a great job of they forced 4 turnovers, got 3 picks, forced 1 fumble. So, really good team effort. And anytime you can get a win versus a talented Crestview team, that's a really big win for your program.
Coach, you got the bye week this week, and yours a little bit later than most here. What do you aim to do in terms of just kind of getting ready for a stretch run, a couple of big games left, kind of dealing with maybe some players that have been a little worn down? How do you go into that, and what's your thinking behind this week off?
Yeah, so, the week later in the year, I mean, that was kind of done on purpose, knowing that we'd be playing Niceville late, give us a little extra week to prepare for them. But having it this late, of course, we got some guys dinged up. So it came at a good time, gives some guys a chance to get a little recovery. You know, we can pull back a little bit on our practice schedule a little bit, or less banging, a lot more focusing on the game plan type stuff. So it's been a really good week of practice so far, and get a chance to freshen our legs up a little bit and then be ready to go right back at it next week.
You mentioned Niceville. Do you typically use the off week to scheme the opponent, or are you kind of trying to regroup on some fundamental basics, some of both? Kind of what's that philosophy for you?
A little bit of both. We're definitely focused on fundamentals, a lot of Indy time, but also we got an extra week to prepare for Niceville, so we're definitely going to take advantage of that. So. So this week's, like I said, it's been a combination of both, focusing on ourselves and fundamentals, but also making sure that we got a good game plan ready to go for next week.
Are you seeing anything initially on Niceville? Obviously, 6-1 right now. They've got the trip to Tallahassee, play Leon, who's winless on the year. But any tendencies that you're seeing that you'll have your team ready for next week?
Niceville's Niceville. A good group of kids that play really hard. They've been in a lot of close ball games this year, and outside the Pine Forest games, they have found ways to win close ball games. I think that just falls back to their culture, their tradition of winning, kids believing in the program. So, it's definitely going to be going to Niceville. It's going to be a tough atmosphere. The band's right there on the field. It's going to be blaring loud. It's going to put a lot of pressure on us to make sure that we're great communicators out there on the field. I think it's going to be a wild, crazy playoff atmosphere and a lot of fun to be a part of.
Well, you mentioned Niceville, and it is one of the great environments in Northwest Florida. Going there into the pit and having everybody so close. Do you go? Kind of silent count, or you do things to adjust for the noise that's not typical of most of your games, but that is going to be a raucous atmosphere. So any adjustments there?
We're just going to have some things that we work on next week, to get used to the noise, and just try to create that little bit of distraction. It just makes you have to focus a little bit, heighten your focus. make sure, like I said, that we're great communicators. Might have to use some hand signals a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. But more so than anything is making sure that everybody knows their jobs, doing their jobs, and when there are times that we have to communicate with one another, that we do a great job of making sure everyone is on the same page.
Give us a little breakdown what they do offensively. They spread it out all over the field, pass. Everybody's throwing the ball, it seems like, these days. And give us a little breakdown about their defense also, what they do on defense.
Offense, I coached at Niceville. Me and Coach Thompson are best friends. Our plays are their plays, and their plays are our plays. I could go to their sideline and call every single one of their plays, and Coach Thompson can come to our sideline and call every single one of our plays. Wow. There's a lot of similarities in what we do, because me and Coach Thompson have coached together for a really long time. Coach Martin on the defense side of the ball, again, he's one of my best friends in the world, and practiced against him for 6 years every single day when I was at Niceville. So they're multiple. They do a lot of different things. They try to create some confusion on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to try to pressure you a lot, put pressure on the quarterback to make decisions under pressure. So, they do a really great job. And then on top of that, their kids are going to play really, 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 really hard. So, we're definitely going to have our work cut out for us. And but again, it's going to be an exciting football game.
You've been there. You see what they do in the off season, the weight program, everything else. Or do you guys do more or less what they do, or have you added things at Mosley that they don't do at Niceville? I grew up in Niceville. I played at Niceville. I coached at Niceville. Played for Coach Hicks, who was the head coach there for 20 years. And, obviously Coach Hicks had a great blueprint for being a successful high school football program, and we've taken that blueprint and brought it to Mosley High School. So, like I said, me and Coach Thompson, it's been a little bit different this year with us being in the same district, but in a year that we're not in the same district, we literally talk every single day and just compare apples to apples about how things are going in his program, how things are going in my program, how you're handling this situation. This is how we're doing this. So again, there's a lot of similarities between both programs and how we do everything and conduct business on a day in, day out basis. How do you match up with them team speed wise? Niceville, Mosley, team speed wise.
I think I like our matchup on the team speed. I think we got I think our guys this year have done a great job of making plays for us, and hopefully we can continue to do that in this ball game. So. But Niceville's got a real physical front seven. I would say arguably they got the best offensive line in Northwest. There's definitely going to be some subtle style differences in the way that we approach this ball game, and that'll be one of the keys in the ball game is can we use our overall speed against them, or are they going to try to force their will and try to pound it and run it down our throats?
Coach, in a ball game like that, you're playing a big dog. My thinking has always been, let's not stay on the porch any longer than we have to. And I'm kind of shocked at times when teams, are going in and they're trying to take out, kind of this David Goliath that they let the play clock, snap the ball with 15, 20 seconds on it when they could run it down, do things to shorten the game. Is that ever part of your thinking when you go, I want to minimize the opportunities they get, maximize what I have, and see if I can't make something happen in the fourth quarter?
No, that's not our thought process at all.
Even in a situation here, you'd rather just play loose and see what happens?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
There's no,
yeah.
We're not going to Niceville with thinking that they're way better than us or thinking that we got to do anything differently to try to win the ball game. We're confident in our offense and our ability to score points, and we're going to try to give ourselves as many opportunities to possess the ball. And when we have the ball, we want to score as many points as we can.
Very good. And part of that, sometimes coaches will go, I want this game in the 20s, like it in the 30s, like in the 40s. So curious as to how that might have played in, particularly in that tough environment you describe over there.
I mean, like you said, every game takes a life of itself. That definitely will unfold itself as the game plays. At the end of the day, we want to have one more point than they do, whether it's 50 to 49 or 7-6. Again, obviously you have an idea of how you want the game to go, but obviously there's going to be different variables that take shape as the course of the ball game goes. You obviously can't predict those. You got to be able to adjust on the fly and be able to make critical decisions at critical times. And so that's what we're going to plan to do.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on today. We'll have more on this game next Thursday. Get some rest, work them hard, and be ready to go. Thank you so much for coming on. You say okay. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell, you listen to him every Monday morning. He'll be on the sideline either tonight or tomorrow night. I guarantee you that. Been taking care of athletes, I guess, for 23 years. The guy's a legend around here. Dr. Chad Mitchell. You don't have to be a great athlete. Go see him. If you got any type of injury, call him, make an appointment. They'll take care of you, no doubt about that. Bay Point Golf, you love golf, there's only one place to go. That is at Bay Point. Had a great time Saturday night watching FSU, watching LSU, Florida, watching Kentucky. I watched 3 games there, Jeremy. I don't recommend it. I got to focus on just one. I can't do the 3. I didn't enjoy them when I was trying to watch all 3 at one time. But I did enjoy El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Once you get there this weekend, you watch these ball games, have a great meal. If you buy one small draft beer, the next one's free. One small margarita, the next one's free. House wine, next one's free. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Pitchers are $5 on the weekend. Get out there and watch all sporting events, have a great meal at El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski. I wanted my yard. I have some issues, and we wanted it to look like a golf course because we live on a golf course. Wasn't looking like on a golf course. What did we do? Turf Pro. Called Patrick. Turf Pro did a great job for us. Give them a call, 774-6739. Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll get it done for you. We'll be right back. We got Fred with us. We got Jeremy with us. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. 102.1 Mariana. 101.9 Port St. Joe. We'll be right back.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and staff meteorologist Tim Root for up-to-the-minute weather reports all day long.
Moving northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico by the weekend.
In-depth storm coverage.
Gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
That boot store reminds you, football weather means colder weather can't be far off. Now's a great time to shop for those winter work coats, shirts, and shoes. Janice and Irene, along with the staff, welcome you to stop by and shop for the whole family at that boot store. Remember Joe's motto, always put Jesus first in your life. Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 on Friday and Saturday. That boot store, next to Billboard Kia on 15th Street, Panama City.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to do something pretty good for you today. 745, you got to give us a call. The number's 215-6290. Everybody knows the area code's 850. 215-6290. What you're going to have a chance to do. We took you to Atlanta. You had a great time going to watch the Atlanta Braves play. This is going to even be better. We're going to get you some tickets to the Mercedes Dome over in Atlanta to watch the SEC Championship game sponsored by Buffalo Rock. Our fine folks at Buffalo Rock is making this happen for you, but you got to give us a call around 7:45. We'll be mentioning it a few more times before 7:45. 215-6290. That gets you lined up. When you call in and you're the what number? What caller? 4, 5, 6. The fifth caller.
Number 5.
The fifth caller calls in, and you're going to be a winner right there. You're going to get some Pepsi products, some other things we'll give away to you. But then the big one, the tickets to the SEC Championship game. I don't know, Jeremy. Do I want it to be Georgia-Bama again? Do I want it to be Alabama-Tennessee?
I know half of that. You want it to be
I
Bama.
want Bama. There's no doubt about it. I don't want us to watch Ole Miss. And if it's Bama, I think I'm going to go. I might even go if it was Ole Miss in Tennessee or Georgia. But we'll talk more about that. But, hey, this is a great deal, man. If you've never been to the stadium, it's beautiful there. We've always had great times going over there. We went to several of those games. In the old one, we went to the new one when I think Florida. It was Florida. Dan was the coach. Florida and Alabama went to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones threw up the high-scoring game. It was fun. All right, so don't forget about that. 7:45, give us a call. Give John a call. Fifth caller, you're going to get yourself in line to win this giveaway. All right, let's all talk about this. I want you guys, you kind of hit on it. We're going to look into this. It's going to take us some time. We're going to look at all the undefeated teams. I think there's 14 of them. Who's going to wind up being undefeated? We're going to start with Clemson. And I'm with you. I think Clemson's going to be one of them. I didn't at the beginning of the year. I think now they will be. This is what they have left. Syracuse, they've got at home. Okay, they're 7-0 right now. Syracuse at home. I do think it's going to be a tougher. If it was at Syracuse, then I'd be a little bit worried.
Well, and Clemson's lost at the Carrier Dome before.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
a weird place to play.
Yeah, and I think that helped Syracuse big time, but they get them at home. All right, they're at Notre Dame. It's not the Notre Dame we're used to.
Nope.
New coach, not very good. Louisville. Now, I'll tell you what. If Louisville quarterback was to show up and put a show on, he could pull it off.
It's possible. I mean, there's trap game written all over that one.
Yeah. Miami?
Nope.
No. South Carolina?
Nope. Even a rivalry game.
It's at Clemson, too.
Yeah.
So everybody agrees South Carolina undefeated?
Or Clemson. Yeah.
I mean, Clemson. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. Clemson?
I think they've got strong odds of being undefeated.
All right.
And there goes one of your four spots.
Yeah, there's a couple games in there, like you're saying. That, there's always going to be one down to the wire somewhere, but I think they'll pull it.
So we got.
Can they lose one and make the playoff? No.
No, I don't think so.
They have no margin for error as an undefeated team.
Hey, guys, I'm hoping UCLA loses a game, TCU, and everybody else. Georgia, Bulldogs, Florida Gators will show up and play a lot better, but Georgia will win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee. I will say this, Kirby Smart, he's not going to play man covers the entire game if he's getting burned like Bama did. He'll mix it up. He'll watch that tape. They'll have a better scheme ready for Tennessee game. That's at home. Them Bulldogs pretty tough at home.
Yeah. I think Georgia's defense is definitely better overall than Alabama's is anyway, so they may match up a bit better than them anyway. So
the back ends I think is better than Bama's. I do. So Georgia probably takes care of business that day.
I think so. Everything's got to go Tennessee's way for them to go into Sanford Stadium and get a W.
Now, this could be a trap game at Mississippi State.
It'll be really interesting to see which Mississippi State team shows up.
This week, too.
This week, too, yeah.
Yeah. In a walkthrough, and they got Georgia Tech. Yeah, I think the Bulldogs will be undefeated and ranked number 1, and they'll play in the Peach Bowl in the first round of the playoffs, probably against Clemson. Number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes. They've got Iowa. I don't think Iowa scored a touchdown all year. They will kill Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State has no chance.
None.
But you know what? It is at Penn State.
None.
No chance.
Penn State. Did you see? They're 0-10 against their last top 10 opponents.
Yeah.
I mean,
and everybody's talking about a great cut. Yeah, right. At Northwestern, blowout. Then Indiana, blowout. At Maryland might score some points on them, blowout. And then the big one, Michigan.
That's a national semifinal or national quarterfinal.
Yeah,
it's a knockout game.
Winner gets in.
Yep,
no doubt. I think the Buckeyes go undefeated. Number 3 was Michigan. They got Michigan State, win. They're at Rutgers, win. Nebraska, win. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Illinois. Now Illinois, man, I'm impressed with them. But Michigan.
But they're not at Michigan, Ohio State caliber.
At Ohio State, it's going to be closer than what people think. I really believe that now. I didn't before. It'll be closer. And then we got Tennessee. T. Martin this weekend. They win that one. What about Kentucky?
They win. Kentucky will play good defense.
Yeah. At Georgia, they lose. Everybody, they lose.
Yeah.
Then they're not going to be undefeated. No. South Carolina, Vandy. So they'll probably go 4-1 the rest of the year. Yeah. One loss. Let's take this phone call. Good morning.
Hey, Coach. I'm sorry to break up. Y'all's talking about who's going to make the playoffs, even though we got plenty of time for that. But did I misunderstand or did I hear right? You got somebody in there that's a soccer coach today.
Yeah, this is Fred Hapner. I help out assistant at Mosley High School soccer.
I know several football teams that are in the college that are going to be looking for kickers. Do you have anybody? You need to at least.
You say that. My son's 21 at Florida State right now, going to school, and we've talked to him many times about, hey, son, why don't you just go out there and walk on and try to kick? We've had some kicking struggles ourselves.
Hey, all he needs to do is just go over there and get him a ball, stand out there at the little crosswalk between the stadium and the practice fields, and set him a tee up and start kicking.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah. I think a lot of teams turn to soccer players actually for look for kickers. They should do it a little more, I think.
That's what I've said all along. I said, why can't we not just send a coach over there to the girls' soccer team and get one and bring her over there and let her kick on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I really have. We need a kicker, and we've got some great ones on that.
When I was growing up, my grandfather told me, he said, well, if you want to play football, quit banging heads with everybody. He said, learn how to kick.
Yeah. I say put a golf club in your hand at a young age.
Well, did that too. But, when I was growing up, and I don't mean it to be mean, but everybody would call you a sissy when you went out on the golf team.
Yeah.
So
those sissies made a lot of money.
You're darn right. Hey, I wish now that I'd have played golf.
Absolutely. Are you going to call
I
back
worked
at
on the golf course
and try to get those SEC tickets?
I'm already in, Coach.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to toss stuff if I'm going to take you or David.
No, David's too young. You got to take me. I don't have many more to go to.
Well, I need to take somebody that knows the landscape up there and what to do. So
there you go.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good. I'll close up the line so they can call in and win that opportunity.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye. All right, the next team that's undefeated, 8th-ranked TCU, and I do want them to lose. I do want TCU to lose. Kansas State.
Could happen this weekend.
Okay. At West Virginia.
Nope.
Texas Tech. Texas Tech could slip up on people.
Possibly.
And then the one I do think they're going to lose to, Texas. The former head coach is coaching there now in Texas. I think that's going to be a good game. And they're at Texas.
Texas may be better than we
I think they are, especially with the quarterback healthy.
Yeah, or they're getting better, too.
Yeah. If he would have been healthy against Bama, I think we'd have lost that. I really do.
Yeah.
At Baylor. And then they got Iowa State. I think they got a tough road to go.
It's a tough road. But Big 12's pretty balanced. It's pretty competitive.
So I think we won't have to worry about the Big 12.
I think they're going to knock each other out.
Yeah, I think the same thing's going to happen to Pac-12, I hope. All right, Ole Miss, number 7 team in the country, at LSU, 2:30 this week. What's going to happen?
It's Brian Kelly getting his sea legs down there. I don't know. Looked pretty good in Gainesville the other night.
He doesn't fit in, but all he does is win.
So,
at Texas A&M.
They'll be okay.
Alabama at home.
That's the big one in the West right now. Yeah.
I think they go down. At Arkansas?
They'll win that one.
We'll see. At now the Egg Bowl, and that's at home. I think it's at home.
Yeah.
Thursday night?
Thanksgiving night. Yeah, it's always Thanksgiving night there. You could see Ole Miss dropping a couple of games along the way here.
They don't go undefeated. Y'all agree?
No, if they do make it to Alabama undefeated, Lane's going to be all in that game.
And you saw last year when we were up there for the Alabama Ole Miss game, just the physical difference between Alabama and Ole Miss.
I think they're still running that three down line.
Yeah, I mean, you could just look at them and tell Alabama was going to win this game simply because they could push Ole Miss around.
Yeah, if they would stick with the running game, they'd push around a lot of people. All right, well, we got to take a break. We'll come back and finish up with this. And we got to talk to Fred about what all he's got going on. They got a good thing going on we need to talk about. 7:45, we get back from this break. You want to give us a call, 215-6290. Get yourself a chance to win. We got a lot of Georgia Bulldogs out there. You know you're going to be in the game. You need to call in. All you Bulldogs, they won the Atlanta Brave. One of our Bulldogs won the Atlanta Brave contest. Call in, get yourself an opportunity to win these SEC championships. Call now, call later, call when, call now. Call right now. Right now. All right, let's talk about some of these other people we need to talk about. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. You want that vehicle brand new? Go by and see them. Don't call them. Go by and see them. Run that car through there. It works better when you take the vehicle through there, I think, than calling in. Newbies, 3 great locations. John and Sharp do a great job down there. You want to have a great time, get down to the mothership. They got food there now. Great bands. And Newbie 2 on the Curve, the place to watch all sporting events. Now, Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Fred, you been there yet?
I have. I love it.
It's a place unbelievable. Unreal,
I like
man. As you walk in, you look up to your right. There's a good-looking, probably one of the best-looking coaches I think I've ever seen. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Not biased at all.
Yeah, it's a big old picture. Jeremy's always getting this picture made with it. Thank you for that, Jeremy. Yeah, I love the turkey. What's your favorite?
That's my dish when I go there. You know, I'm one of these where I go to a restaurant. I already go. I know there's so many things on the menu, but I kind of get associated with the place, and I go to Rudy's. I get the turkey.
Do you get the plate or the sandwich?
I typically go with the plate.
See, I usually get the sandwich. I need to start doing the plate. Get off that bread. Go by there at Rudy's. I guarantee you'll love it. That Cajun place, but we got to brag about them. They do such a good. One of my former players, Rick Shockley, does a great job down there. Jan and Trudy, wonderful people. The owners there, they wanted to help out the community because in the summertime you just can't get in. You have to wait so long. So what they do, 75-cent wings all day Saturday and Sundays. All they ask you to do, wear your shirt, wear your Alabama shirt, your FSU, Florida, LSU, whatever you are, wear it in there proudly and have a great time. I'll be down there this weekend at 11 o'clock watching. What's the 11 o'clock game? Is it? I forgot the 11 o'clock game, but I'll be there. I'll look it up in a second. All right, give us a call, 215-6290. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Bigger and better than ever. The ESPN Northwest Florida Championship Giveaway. Presented by Buffalo Rock. Your chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the SEC Championship game. Listen for the cue to call weekdays at 7:45 and 4:45. When we tell you, be caller 10 to qualify for the grand prize. The ESPN Northwest Florida Championship Giveaway.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, cool temperatures 65 to 70, and light northwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf is 76. Mostly clear around 46 tonight. Mostly sunny Friday in the mid to upper 70s, and more the same for the weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
It's time to let the fall adventures begin in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 3.49% up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2022 Kia Sorento. You can expand your horizons and write your next chapter with confidence in the outgoing and adventurous 2022 Kia Sorento.
that has the perfect balance of comfort, safety, performance, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy and will give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Sorento with $22.36 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Can be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 10/31/22.
You don't know what his problem is.
Quit moaning, we're all hurting.
But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Man, we're in God's country down here in the beautiful South. SEC football is the king of the world. Alabama is the king of the world. You want to watch a game, you're going to watch Bama, baby. Everybody wants to watch them to lose. They want to watch them to win, but you're going to watch Alabama. And we got a winner on the phone. I guarantee you they're a Bama fan. How much you want to bet?
Oh, man. Coach, I'm a Gator fan. I hate to say it. Are you there, Coach?
All right. I think we got you now.
Yeah, we got you now. I don't know what John's doing. He's trying to bust my ears open. Who is this?
This is Trey. I used to play football for you back in like 04, 05 at Arnold.
All right. How you doing, big guy?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I heard you talk about Phil Cobb earlier. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's gotten fat.
That's good.
No, he's probably listening right now. He's doing good. He really is. He'll go down and see old Billy Van Wee every once in a while down there where his boat's at, and we eat lunch quite a bit together. But he's doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just working. I mean, like I said, if I win these tickets, I'm probably going to switch over to a Tennessee fan, and hopefully they get in.
Well, are you going to take me with you if it's Alabama and Tennessee?
I don't know, but I might have to take Cobb. I ain't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he'll go if it's Auburn or Georgia. That's his two teams, the Bulldogs and Auburn Tigers. All right.
Well, he's Oklahoma State alumni, ain't he?
Well, it depends. He has a couple girlfriends in Oklahoma. One of them was Oklahoma Sooner. The other was Oklahoma State. So he goes back and forth. It depends on which girl he's with. That's true, too, man. I'm serious. All right. Who do you like? What's your favorite team?
I'm a Gator fan.
Oh, okay. Good man. Good man. Now, you living on the beach still?
What's that?
Are you living on the beach?
No, I live in town.
You live back? Okay, you're in town. All right, buddy.
Yep.
I hope you get them. Now, did John tell you what you won?
Yes, sir. Yep,
okay,
he did.
Okay. Why don't you come out to the studio one day and see us? Walk in here and talk to us for a while. We'll talk about Florida Gators.
Yeah, I definitely will.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for calling. And that coach you used to coach for, he's pretty good looking, wasn't he?
Oh, he was great looking guy.
He's going to win. He's going to win. You hear me? I want to be the one drawing the tickets. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for calling.
All right. See you later, Coach.
Bye-bye, buddy. Go Gators. Man, that was 2004. Goodness gracious alive.
A few years ago.
I keep thinking they're kids and they're grown. Yeah. I really do. You think they're like
kids of their own now.
Yeah, unbelievable. Let's finish up with this, and we got to talk about that great thing you're doing right now. All right, we got two teams left. UCLA. It could happen this week. They're at Oregon.
Yeah, big ball game.
What do you think happens there? I know we're going to do our picks in a minute.
Alton's a tough place to play, and it's going to be raucous. UCLA really hadn't played in front of any fans at home this year. You know,
much less. Yeah.
So
that is true, though. I think it's 17,000 maybe. They lied about how many were there. All right, they also have. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. They got Oregon, Stanford. They'll beat Arizona State. They should take care of business, but they got USC.
Yeah, and that'll be big.
And then they got Cal after that. So
I think they trip up along the way. I mean, South Alabama should have knocked them out.
Yeah, I hope they. I want them. We need them to lose. We want more teams in the South to get in. So we got another. All right, Syracuse. We got Syracuse at Clemson this week. I think it gets done this week.
Yeah, they'll probably go down.
Okay. Okay. And also they got Notre Dame. They got Pitt. They're at Pitt. They got FSU, at Wake Forest, at BC. They'll lose one game. Yeah. So I think we're going to take this call right now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Who is this?
This is Richard. Just a quick comment. Randomly, something popped up on my Facebook a few months ago called Ghosts of the Orange Bowl, and every day probably they give a profile of whether it's a Miami Dolphin or a UM player or even opposing teams that would have played. Some of them are 50, 70 years ago, and some of them are recent. Right. And the one yesterday was John McVay.
Oh, my God.
If you search it out on Facebook or have Dave or somebody do it for you, called Ghosts of the Orange Bowl.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that before. Oh, my God.
Well, the one yesterday, it had his picture from back in the day, and it told that he started playing football the first college at University of Kentucky, and then started for I guess he was on the team for 3 years. 1 year he had to sit out because he transferred to UM, and then started for 2 years, and then he actually played in the strike NFL as a strike breaker. If you remember back then.
Yeah.
So it was real interesting, and I know you talk about him all the time. I thought you'd be interested in knowing that.
Thank you so much. I'm going to look that up, and I know what you're talking about. I've seen it a couple times on Facebook. John McVay, unbelievable. That's great. Yeah, he played at Kentucky, was a great player there. Then he transfers to Miami, and I think it was Howard Snellenberger the coach. I think he played for either Jimmy Johnson. I can't remember.
No, I can't remember if it said that or not. But it said he started on the defensive line with Jerome Brown, and trying to remember who the they tackled who's the guy that quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys who won the Super Bowls for Jimmy. The announcer now. I can't all of a sudden can't say his name, but they tackled him and broke his leg.
Yeah.
And he was that's when he ended up transferring, I think, from Oklahoma to wherever it was he went to after that. But anyway, it told probably a whole page of information on it.
Man, I appreciate you telling me that. I'm gonna look that up. That's great. Thank you so much. Can we give him anything? Can we get? We can't.
Not in a couple months. Not in a couple months.
Okay. I got a Rudy's card or something.
Well, if you want to, that's wonderful. If not, that's fine too.
Okay. I'll tell you what, John, I got one. I'll give it to him. Don't hang up. He's got to get the information. We'll get you a Rudy's card or either a paparazzi, whatever you want.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's, Fred, when we get this break, I want to talk about what you're doing. Go ahead and tell me your full name, what you do, and what your organization's doing right now.
Yeah, my name is Fred Hapner. I'm with the Guardian Ad Litem program. I'm the director there, and we advocate for kids that have been abused and neglected and are currently in the system when they're removed from their homes and placed in foster homes or relatives or wherever. The court appoints our program, Guardian Ad Litem, to speak for them, to speak on their behalf and speak for their best interest. That could be a lot of different things. Could be about visitation, could be about going home or not going home. Services that they're needing, counseling, anything the kids need. We can be a big brother, big sister to them. We would be a mentor. We also try to look out at some of their education issues that are going on. So we're involved in all those type of things.
I've always thought about this. When they place those kids, they do a really good job of background check of where they're putting them in those homes.
Yeah. Any home that a child's placed in when they're removed, or even when they become a foster home, there's a whole list of things that have to be done. So they do background checks to make sure, and they do walkthroughs of the homes and home studies, they call them, all those type of things. So they check out the homes.
Yeah, even after they put them in, they go back and recheck.
They do, and there's people visiting all the time. Now, that doesn't say something can't go wrong. I mean, anybody could probably call in and say, hey, yeah, I had this. But yeah, there's a good background check that are done on folks. Because you're taking them out of a bad situation, so you don't want to put them in another bad situation or potential bad situation.
Yeah. So. And now, how can we help out? What can we do to help this thing out?
Yeah, well, we've got a golf tournament that's coming up November 4th, and we got a lot of great sponsors that are helping us out with that, and we're just seeking teams right now to finish filling out our roster. We want to have between 20 and 25 teams, and we're getting close to that now. I think we're getting close to 20, but we'd like to have anywhere between 20 and 25. And, you know, all the money that's raised out of this tournament goes to support those kids, and we do a lot of good things with it. We buy shoes and clothes, and we pay for gymnastics and karate and football and soccer and all the things that, you know, a lot of our kids have been involved in and done before. We want the kids that are involved in the system to have the same opportunities. And there's not a lot of money to go around.
Right.
And there's a lot of different agencies working with these kids, and they don't all have big budgets either. So we all kind of do our part. So our office tries to help out and assist as well too.
And everything's gotten so bad. Is it tougher now? It has to be. It has to be tougher now that the economy's so bad. People struggling to get money for this. But this is something that we really need to help out.
Yeah, and it's good. I tell you, of course, you know, Bay County and the surrounding area. Man, they get some good folks that always want to jump in and help and, you know, sponsor and support. You know, you've mentioned several of them on here today. You know, we've got Rudy's that are part. They're going to be doing our lunch that day. Of course, you guys, ESPN, are supporting us and getting the word out and helping out. St. Joe Foundation, Jason Benson, Early Civil Construction. His company's been a big supporter of ours for the last few years doing this tournament. Innovations Bank, of course, McDonald's, Perry and Young. So a lot of folks, and that's what makes these things happen, is the sponsors that come on board. And of course, this area and this community is always good about, you know, taking up the torch, especially when it comes to the kids.
Yeah, and Perry and Young, they're highly intelligent. They're Bama fans, I do believe. So
they're good folks.
They're good folks down there. Know that about that.
Yeah, they've always been sponsoring our $10,000 hole-in-one each year, so it makes a little excitement there too. But yeah, they've been good.
If you're not a golfer and you want to help out, if you just, even if it's $5, $10, $100, whatever it is, can people do that?
Yeah. They can. There's a phone number they can call. It's our tournament director, Doug Quilling, 850-819-2604. They can call him, or we have a email account set up, childadvocatesforkids@gmail.com, and that 4 is spelled out FOR. So it'd be childadvocatesfor for kids@gmail.com. They could contact through that way, and folks can get in touch with them. They just want to say, hey, I just want to help out a little bit. You know, that's great. But, you know, all this goes to support the kids that we're involved with.
Yeah, anytime we can help young people, we need to do that. This is a big deal right here. Right now, if you could just, I don't care if it's $5, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever it is. You know, we've asked people to help out these schools, and they've done an unbelievable job, you know, doing it. This is huge if we can do this. Call Doug, 850-819-2604. That's easy to remember, 819-2604. 819-2604. I'm going to say it again, 819-2604. Call him up. Go by. If you don't want to play golf, just give it. I don't care how much it is. Give something. Enough people give it. We can help these young people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You've never been poor. It's not a fun thing to be.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things people don't realize. All of us have kids, you realize it, but, you know, school trips that these kids are involved in, and clothes and all the different activities, it costs a lot of money.
And God bless those people that bring these kids in their homes and takes care of them.
Yeah.
Jim and Judy Brandt have done that. They've had 4, and they've been with them every day for years. I mean, since they were little bitty things. And that's a task now.
It's a calling. We call it a calling. We have volunteers that volunteer with our program that visit these kids on a regular basis, and it's not just for everybody. Let's put it that way.
Well, Fred, thank you for sharing that with us, and you stay here as long as you want. We got another hour. I think Brian's going to come in. We have all 4 of us, and we're going to do some picks day 30. If you can stay. If you got to go.
Okay.
But I appreciate what you're doing for these young people around here. Again, that number is 819-2604. Give some money to help these young kids that really don't have much of anything. Let's help them out. All right, we'll be right back. This is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, 101.9 Port St. Joe. Be right back. Jeremy Pritchett is with us. We get back. He's got the update on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Be right back.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is collecting relief items for those hurt by Hurricane Ian. We know the impact of a major storm on the local community as our neighbors in South Florida and South Carolina start to rebuild their homes, businesses, and their lives. We're collecting items they need right now. For a list of items and our addresses, go to ESPNPC.com and click on Hurricane Relief America. Sponsored by Event Production, Panama City, Toyota, Blab TV, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, cool temperatures 65 to 70, and light northwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf is 76. Mostly clear around 46 tonight. Mostly sunny Friday in the mid to upper 70s, and more the same for the weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
The 5th Annual Advocates for Children Golf Tournament is coming to the Panama City Golf Club on November 4th. Sign up your 4-person teams today. Entry fees include your round of golf, breakfast, lunch, 2 mulligans, 3 raffle tickets, and goodie bag. There will be prizes for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place finishes, closest to the hole, and men's and ladies' longest drive. For more information on the 5th Annual Advocates for Children Golf Tournament, email childadvocatesforkids@gmail.com.
All proceeds go to Advocates for Children, Inc. in support of Guardian Ad Life.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you, discount pricing, and if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll high, roll. Hope we can bounce back. We want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama Update. A couple other things that I need to think before we let Jeremy get rolling here. Dr. Ward does an incredible job. He's got office throughout Northwest Florida. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop it. If it doesn't look right, feel right, I'm begging, don't play around with this stuff. I don't care what your age is. Go get it checked out. 5 minutes could save your life, seriously. And he does such an incredible job. Big staff. They do a wonderful job down there. And if you're in Northwest Florida listening right now, there's an office near you. So please go see Dr. Ward. All right, Jeremy, let's get into the Alabama Update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning.
We're in rare place in Tuscaloosa. This is only the 6th time that we find ourselves dealing with a regular season loss during the Nick Saban era.
And how do we put up with this? I mean, I think
fire Nick Saban.
I think we would start looking to get another guy that can get Bama to Bama standards. Let's fire his ass. I'm sick of it. That was a joke. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a bounce back game. Mississippi State coming to town. Make the short 82-mile trip down US 82 like they have for many, many years. And what's really interesting about this game is Mississippi State good ball team, but the years they've seemed to be on the up, they have had to make the trip to Bryant-Denny.
Correct.
And that's one of those quirks of scheduling. You can't make this up, but they've rolled in undefeated to Bryant-Denny every time that they've gotten this far in the season, and they've gone out vanquished.
Mm-hmm.
This year they're not undefeated, but it's a good ball team, but here they are having to make that short trip again, and I don't know that I'd want to catch Alabama coming off of a loss. So I think things are setting up well, for a bounce back. But I've, in the spirit of that, went back to see when Alabama took their first loss under Saban in particular years and what happened the following week. So here you go, 07. First loss was overtime to UGA. The next week you and Tommy were in Jacksonville.
Yep, and they lost.
7-6 finished out that year. 08, first loss was actually against Florida in the SEC championship game. Next game, didn't show up against Utah.
Mm-hmm.
In 10, because they won it all in 9, undefeated. In 10, first loss was one of those amen corners. South Carolina.
Right.
Steven Garcia's game of his life. Next week, bounced back 23-10 over Ole Miss. 11, first loss, game of the century. 9-6.
I was at that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they bounced back against who the following week?
Mississippi
State, 24-7.
That used to be the schedule. LSU, Mississippi State, Auburn every year.
In 12, it was the Johnny Manziel game. First loss, 29-24. The next week, they shut out Western Carolina 49-0. In 13, Auburn, 34-28 was the first loss, kick 6. They limp into the Sugar Bowl, and Oklahoma destroyed them.
I was at that game. Yeah, that was ugly.
In 14, first loss, Ole Miss. And the next week, they survived in Fayetteville in the rain, 14-13. The next year, first loss, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
And they beat La Monroe 34-0. In 16, only loss was national championship game to Clemson. 17, first loss, Auburn. The next one, Sugar Bowl, Clemson, 24-6 win for Alabama.
That's the freeze. That's when it was so cold it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and then that was the.
Did you go that one?
I did not. That was the second 26 year with two
right.
are there. And 18, first loss, Clemson national championship game. 19, first loss, LSU 46-41. The next week, they won 38-7 over Mississippi State.
Yeah.
First loss in 21 was to Texas A&M, walk-off field goal last year. The next week, Alabama 49, Mississippi State 9.
Brian is a Mississippi State Bulldog alumni.
But it's interesting at how many times Mississippi State's walked into this situation.
Well, and like I said, the way the schedule used to go LSU, Mississippi State, Auburn to end the year.
Yeah.
So they would catch them after LSU.
And now
Alabama would be good and mad after that game.
And the SEC has shifted the schedules a little bit. So last year it was A&M, and then State rolls in.
Yep.
Tennessee, and now
they
State rolls in.
They shifted the schedule. Thank you, Auburn Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly right.
Let me ask you this: were you at the Mississippi State Alabama game when they go into Bryant-Denny and Mississippi State was number 1 in the nation?
Yes.
That was a pretty good game.
Pretty good ball game. Yeah. But you could sense even the apprehension of the Mississippi State fans really wishing that game had been at Scott Field.
Oh, yeah. Well, and State had gone on such a run earlier in the season. I mean, they went from unranked to number 1 in like 2.5 or 3 weeks because they beat a top 5 Auburn. They beat, who was the other one there? But I mean, it was like back to back to back weeks. They beat like top 10
whole state
teams.
of Mississippi was Ole Miss was
Ole Miss was third, I think, when Mississippi State was number 1.
You told me something. You said it, and I remember it now because I picked Mississippi State to beat Kentucky, and you said every year they kind of screw something up.
Well, and the home team always wins in that series for whatever reason. Kentucky is Mississippi State.
Did you pick Kentucky? Did you pick? I picked.
No, because every time I pick against State, they end up winning. I should have done it just to keep them winning, but I wanted to win the picks.
Well, and looking at Saturday, old rivals meet again. Mississippi State will roll in. Obviously, dynamics have changed for the ball team there with the death of Sam Westmoreland, freshman ball player. Anytime you have that type of thing happen to a program, it just changes your whole week. And hearts and thoughts and prayers are with
19 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, kid out of Tupelo, who's walk-on, but was a star at Tupelo High School. And he there's no way to truly analyze how these things will go, but generally speaking, when I've seen tragedies and teams are at home, they seem to do better
on the
because
road.
You've got that home support mechanism. When you have to go on the road after something like this,
it just adds a dynamic there. So, but we certainly are thinking of the whole Mississippi State program, and some classy responses from across the conference. If you look at Saban yesterday at his presser, Ole Miss, SEC commissioner issued a statement and. Hate to see this because when you lose a young person, you really lose your future. I'm around this a lot in my work, and we've got a funeral on Friday for a 102-year-old person, but that's a whole different situation where somebody's lived a full life. Celebrate more. Sure. That's all you can ask for. But 19 years of age, you got everything in front of you. You're supposed to have everything in front of you. So, but that'll play into the emotion for Mississippi State. And I think, Brian, to your point, when you have to go on the road and you're in an even more unfamiliar setting, it changes the situation. Mississippi State can unleash the air raid. And if Alabama plays stubborn man like they tried to do, I'm not saying they light them up like Tennessee did, but the big play has been the Achilles heel for Alabama, and a quick strike is certainly not out of the question.
Yeah, I've seen, though, Saban and Golding have gone to zone every time they've played Leach. But more than that, where Alabama's susceptible in the secondary is over the top. State does not go over the top.
Right.
It's 6-yard dumps, 8-yard dumps, 12-yard dumps, things like that.
Trying to make the passing game the running game.
Exactly. So to be perfectly honest, Mississippi State does not match up well with Alabama. That's not to say they couldn't do something, because Will Rogers is deadly accurate, and they've developed a bit of a running game, and Mississippi State has a good defense this year. But it's not a good matchup for them.
I feel like everything's set up for Alabama to bounce back.
I think so.
The focus in practice is going to be there, the sentiment that they let one get away in Knoxville last week. So I've got Alabama winning the ball game, and getting into the off week, getting ready for the stretch run with trip to the LSU and then Ole Miss. So Alabama should take care of business, and it's just ironic that here they are again after a loss. With Mississippi State. So, but that's your Alabama update, and we'll talk more about the other sports. Basketball is getting going. They had a scrimmage against TCU that didn't go so well, and there was a players-only meeting, so I think they're trying to get ahead of the early season momentum for Nate Oates and the bunch that came out as the number 5 ranked in the preseason for the SEC. So you feel the change of season starting to take place, but clearly football still a lot ahead of us.
I had a phone call. I apologize for that. I'm trying to look up John McFay and the Ghost of the Orange Bowl pass. He was an unbelievable football player. He's still, if you see John today, he's so competitive. He still is like he can get on the field and play. He doesn't age at all. But he was a great football player at Kentucky and for the Miami. Alabama update brought you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. You have any kind of problems? I know the winter's coming. Heck, it feels like it was here this morning. Go get it serviced about every 6 months, right before winter, right before summer. It lasts longer. Your bills are a lot cheaper. And you've got an old one. I'm telling you right now, go ahead and bite the bullet, buy you a brand new one. All it's going to do is pay for itself in electricity bill. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number 1. Not even close. J. Michael's Restaurant, best seafood, coldest beer. Get out there and have a great time. Tell them Coach sent you. Buffalo Rock, appreciate all the great things you've done for the Bay District schools. Great people down there at Buffalo Rock. Support them. Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. Nobody does a better job than Chuck Tucker. Real estate deals, make sure you demand South Oak Title and Closing. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Happy hours, 3 to 7, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, you buy one, get one free all day, Saturday and Sunday, $5 pitchers. Go try it. You'll love it. Go watch the football games. Have a great meal. We'll be right back. Brian's with us right now. He's been away a little bit. Glad to have him back in town. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. 102.1 Marianne on 101.9 Port St. Joe. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're the radio home of the Mosley Dolphins.
It's a bye week for the Mosley Dolphins. Their next game Thursday, October 27th at Niceville. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here. Sponsored by Southern Orthopedic Specialists, Panama City Toyota, Tavario Solutions, Gulf Coast Aquarium, Barano Heating and Air Conditioning, Barbaritos, Ellis Agency Insurance, First Federal Bank, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, cool temperatures 65 to 70, and light northwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf is 76. Mostly clear around 46 tonight. Mostly sunny Friday in the mid to upper 70s, and more the same for the weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi, it's Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. And just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself. Don't miss the summer deal where all your monthly memberships are 50% off on your first month, starting at $9.99 a month. Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road, right next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
Castor Solar, Engineering and Equipment Company, EXP Realty, Roxanne Sparicello, Fresh Start Cleaning LLC, MUV by Verano, and Unwind Furniture Company.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle. Hey, Bay Point update. Auburn Tiger updates brought to you by Bay Point Golf. We got Mike on the phone, but before I get to Mike and before we talk about Auburn, we're going to talk about John McVay. It says, happy 60th birthday to the former Miami linebacker and defensive end, John McVay, former All-State player at Miami's Columbus High School. McVay was a member of the first Columbus team to reach the state championship game in 1980. He chose Kentucky over Miami in 1983. He set out the 1983 national champion. Oh, he transferred to Miami in 1983. I'm sorry. He had to sit out the national championship season because he transferred in. Mm-hmm. Then he started for the Miami Hurricanes 1984, 1985, and he had to play in 1985 against Oklahoma, where he and Jerome Brown sacked Troy Aikman, broke his leg. Mm-hmm. And that's when he decided to transfer to UCLA.
Sent him out west.
Yeah, get out of that wishbone, I guess, and start throwing the football. Why he so went to Oklahoma in the first place, I don't know. He was a drop-back passer, not a wishbone quarterback. But McVay was a great football player. He was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks in 1986. He spent 6 seasons on the active roster before getting cut. His NFL career, he was good. I mean, he was good wherever he played at. They won that strike. That says he now lives in Panama City Beach. This is incredible, man. This is a great thing. This is the ghost of the Orange Bowl, and they did a big thing. His picture's in there. Good-looking guy, John McVay. We wore the same jersey in college, number 93.
Well, and how cool to be part of the building of the Jimmy Johnson Miami Hurricanes group, which he got to be a part of.
Now, he was with Howard.
Right.
This transfer year. I remember talking to him about this. Coach Snellberg was an unbelievable coach, and he liked Jimmy Johnson. He said the talent they had in that football team was incredible. Yeah. They kept what Howard Snellberg did is kept the players in that surrounding area.
What
Miami.
They call I-4 South, they called it the state of Miami.
And he got
it up. Yeah.
Howard said he would go. Coach Snellberger. I was with Coach Snellberger. He had when he was at Oklahoma, he offered one of our players. The guy played defensive tackle, but could run. He offered him a scholarship to Oklahoma. You know what position to play? Fullback. Mm-hmm. He wanted a big blocking fullback, and knew Fred could run. Offered him a scholarship. They fired Howard that year, so he didn't get to play. I loved Howard. You know who he sounded like? Just like Coach Bryant.
Oh, he did.
Sounded just like
Absolutely
him, man.
Did.
He said he'd go on recruiting trips down to Miami. These great players. He always would leave his pipe. He said it made an excuse to come back and talk to mamas later. He was sharp, man. We got Mike on the phone. Let's take this phone call. Mike, what are you doing, brother?
I'm just thinking about the Auburn Tigers. I've been spending time with some people from Lee County. I made a bad joke about them yesterday, but it was a good joke, but it was real nasty. That's not yesterday, but Monday. But anyways, I got a serious proposition here. I know where there's 2 guys who are excellent coaches who have Super Bowl rings. That's what matters now, getting in these top guys that are only going to stay 3 years. And that's the new thing. Back in the day, it was 5 years. You got 5 years to make it work. And that was like a class plus red shirts. Mm-hmm. And I mean, a whole, 4 whole classes plus red shirts. Now it's 3 years. and less than that if they don't like it. But I don't know if there's enough money, even with Mr. Rainey. I'll call him Mr. Rainey now since he won, and the heirs of Bob James and whoever. You can fill in the blank up there. Trent Dilfer. You say, well, why are you going to hire a high school coach? Well, he actually, in Tennessee, there's the Manning Academy and there's the Dilfer Academy in Nashville for quarterbacks. Dilfer coaches at Lipscomb Academy, used to be David Lipscomb High School. And I don't know what his net worth is. He's doing great. You know, he comes on TV and everything. And he can recruit in a dirty area because he recruits against Innsworth MBA, CPA, and, of course, Brentwood Academy, which they don't ever cheat. Anyway, but John Hudson was on his team with him. I think John, he's a second-generation NFLer. He was the long snapper on the Ravens championship team. He coaches in Henry County. Now, he might not leave since his family's really anchored there, but if they could get them two boys, they'd put the rest at Jerry Faust Ghost, and those guys could coach in the SEC. Now, could you afford them? Because they're just coaching. They're coached for a hobby. And I think Hudson lives off his investments, and Dilfer lives off his camp, which he probably, he can move his camp to Auburn. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is serious. I know I joke around a lot, but I don't know. Hudson doesn't have as much money as Dilfer, but Dilfer has got a lot of cash, and it'd take a lot to, uproot it. But it's going to take a lot of cash to uproot whoever they're gunning for. Do y'all know? I mean, are they trying to try to get Stoops or Beamer or somebody to move in conference? I mean, they need something like that. They can't go hire I'll give you a name from Viger High School. It wouldn't be bad, though. They can't go hire Brent Dearman, who quarterbacked at Viger and is the OC, I think, at MTSU. He escaped from Les Miles. He went to Kansas for a few minutes. He said, I got to get out of here. This guy doesn't know. He's got an Apple Watch and a phone. He doesn't know how to manage clock. Anyway, but I'm worried about Auburn. I want them to be good enough that they don't beat Tennessee. I don't understand. We beat Auburn one year and they beat Bama. They beat Bama. But I want them to be competitive. That makes everybody's wins against them better. It's not because I want them to dominate. You follow me?
I follow you.
Yeah. Well, how's Ethan Boyd's mental health after what's happened to him the last few weeks?
He's good. He's good. He handles it well, man. I'll tell you what.
I wonder how Brunch was after the air raid destroyed them. I mean, how'd that go?
Tasted good to me.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that. Hey, this week there's a deep red team playing a maroon team, and I'm for the Maroonies.
Hang up on him. Hang up on him.
I knew you'd say that. I hope you have amnesia next week, Coach. Bye.
Bye.
What was funny was I was in Auburn during the game this past weekend, and obviously all the chatters about Coach. And most of the people, I think, like Harsin, but they know it's beyond the pale at this point. But I floated a name at him that I think makes perfect sense and I think would do a great job. And this is a guy who's been trying to get into the SEC for a few years. Don't be surprised if they don't make a play at Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State.
He would be a good one. Who do you think they go after?
It's such a tough thing to, look at here at what's going on at Auburn. You got to have somebody wants to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there'll be people wanting to go.
Well, they want to go, but do you want to go so you can be on the buyout list? Or do you want to go so you can coach and have a chance? That's the question here, because it's that kind of fork in the road that we saw after Shula left in Tuscaloosa. Whoever comes in is going to have to set the parameters that they run the program. Gundy's an interesting selection, particularly since there's been such a dust-up over Oklahoma leaving.
Look at all the talk he's had about Oklahoma, Texas. I think he's realized now, and he had a shot this year again, and he came up short in double overtime on the road. I think he's seen if he's going to get to that next level playoff, he needs to come into the SEC. Yeah. He's been trying for a few years. He wanted that Tennessee job.
Yeah.
He wants that big money. And Auburn's going to pay big money. Yeah. Auburn's got money.
I don't think you get Kiffin out of Ole Miss.
No, I don't either.
I think he wants the Bama job.
And, Hugh Freeze circulates around, but I'm not sure if the conference is going to open that up. It seems like he's surfaced a time or two, and then somehow he kind of falls away as if there's a...
I think we're past the Freeze stuff, but I don't think he's their number one target. No. I think they'd be happy with Hugh Freeze, but I don't think he's their number one target.
Stoops at Kentucky in the conference. What more can he do at Kentucky?
Sure.
I mean, the old story about Rupp getting a new Cadillac, I think, and Bryant got a cigarette lighter. I mean, so
well, he can keep his job a lot longer.
He can.
And he's making He's making $8 million a year now.
Yeah, without the insane amount of pressure that's going to come from.
If he knows when Nick's going to leave, then I could see it happening. I wouldn't leave Kentucky.
No,
he can do everything at Kentucky. He can do it at Auburn. Auburn is a better job. I do think that.
Fickle is out there with a lot of years, but I don't know.
He's a Midwest guy.
It doesn't fit the prototype again. I think you're going to have somebody from the South, and whether the track record lines up.
Who was the one the Bobby? They loved him before. Do they love him again? I think he'd win there. I really do.
I think it's too late.
Too late.
Yeah.
You look at what Florida did with their hire, and you've got to have somebody that's got some years ahead of them, opportunities, and build a program.
You say that, but they wanted Kevin Steele, and he was old.
That was an interim. That was just a holdover.
Nick got out. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Placeholder.
And they just went the route of kind of the younger up-and-coming coach, so I think that may unfairly knock out some Jamie Chadwells or people like that who are out there. I don't think they're going to go that route. They're going to try and find someone with a more established pedigree, and that I know it sounds weird because he is an Oklahoma State guy, but that's why the Gundy thing just makes a lot of sense to me. Whether it happens or not, I don't know.
All right, let's hold it there. Let's talk about some of our great people. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bad Beach Road. Go get it washed one time there. You'll be sold. You'll be going there every time. They do an incredible job. They got the best equipment. They spend big money on it, and it works. Turf Pro, you want your yard to look like a golf course. Turf Pro is the answer. Turf Pro Pest Control. Give Patrick a call at 774-6739. They'll take care of you like they do me. They take care of our place, and they do an incredible job. That Cajun place, again, 75-cent wings. You cannot beat it. I don't know if I want to go to the 11 o'clock kickoff. The one I saw was UT Martin, Tennessee. I don't really care about watching that one. I'll probably go to the 2:30 game, watch Ole Miss and LSU. Have more fun there with all us LSU people. Make sure you wear what you're supposed to wear. There you go.
It's a good game.
Okay, that could be a good one. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, and 101.9 Port St. Joe. When we get back, Jeremy's going to give us our rundown of our picks, who we're going to pick, and how we're doing, and everything else. I know I took a beating last week. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Be right back.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. This is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Thursday afternoon at 5:15 during the Afternoon Underdogs and Friday mornings during the 6 a.m. hour. It's accurate, concise content from local anglers right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi? Totally back. Your perfectly placed football-watching corner seat back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
Dat Cajun Place is the place to watch all college and NFL games. Don't miss a game with their 27 TVs and the NFL Sunday Ticket. It's 75-cent wings and $5 pitchers during live football games. Dat Cajun Place is LSU and Saints football headquarters. Daily specials starting at just $10.99. Happy hour 4 till 7 daily. $1 draft beer and $3 wells. Dat Cajun Place, 2705 Thomas Drive, Panama City Beach.
Now you can interact with the Coach James Hale Show live in the J. Michaels Studios. Download the new 104.3 ESPN app at the Apple Store and Google Play. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show, powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. That's a good song there, by the way, Big Daddy. Let that thing go. I ain't heard Elvis. Are you back on? You can't get. Okay. All right. We'll get that straightened out.
You only know 3 words of that last song.
Which one? Roll, Tide, Roll.
That's why you like it.
I hope they roll this week, baby. I hope they roll. All right, Jeremy, we got some big picks to do this week. How did we do last week? It was pretty bad.
It was rather brutal across the board. I came in at 15-11. Tommy came in at 15-11. Ryan was in here and came in at 15-11. But our winner at 18-8 was Coach Hale.
Well, I got my butt kicked by the Friday crew.
Hey, I didn't lose a game last week.
No,
I'm loving it.
Yeah. I don't have our overall season totals because for those 2 weeks in Europe, you still haven't given me the results back. I think you're like hanging on to them like hanging chads for the election or something. Yeah. In case you need to push yourself over the top.
Jeremy, he's not going back there to get them. He's going back there to change them.
Change them out. Oh, here we go. Now I can get some tallies and see how we're doing.
What did you write that on, a napkin?
Look at this.
Is that a J. Michaels napkin you wrote these on?
No, this is Jeremy's paperwork, but I had it in my computer. I forgot they were in my computer.
Did your dog eat this homework?
No, look at this.
Oh, so we start with the high school picks. Several of our teams are off this week, but did want to take a look at the power rankings very quickly because those actually impact postseason now in the way that the FHSAA puts the playoffs together. And I thought it was interesting. Just looking at 150 on up, Bluntstown came in at number 147, Mosley 121, Port St. Joe 119. Pretty high for Class A. Chipley undefeated at number 90.
Yeah.
Sneed's undefeated at number 80. And then Navarre, 66. The Bay Tornadoes, 64.
Wow.
In the power rankings. And then Northview, 51. And then, very interesting for Mosley, Niceville, number 37. Yeah. Play them next week. And Wakulla, number 26. Mosley holds a victory.
That's right.
Over Wakulla. So
at Wakulla.
At Wakulla. Yeah. So that bodes very well for the Dolphins here on the power rankings.
You were talking earlier about the Florida High School Athletic Association, and I don't know if we were on air or not. We have gotten away from how they do it in the real South. We're not. We got so many people, and I said this before, and I say it again. I know for a fact what I'm talking about. They move in here from different parts of the country, and especially down South Florida. Really Central and South Florida, all over the country. And they want to do it different ways, like Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and things like that. You talked about they allow you to play more baseball games. They do the playoffs different. Well, we got Max Prep ranking these teams, which is a joke. We ought to go back, and I know why they got away from the district thing. We ought to go back and play district balls like they used to do it. You win it on the field. You know who you got to play. Sometimes it doesn't work out fairly compared to one district to the other. But you go back and you look at those teams, and I was listening to all the ones you were saying, and I know, I'm not going to mention the school's name, I know some of them that have scheduled a super weak schedule, and that's the reason they're up high. And other teams that played a tougher schedule, that's the reason they lost games and week lower. We don't do it right in the state anymore.
No.
They care about bringing money into that association. They care about keeping their jobs.
And this takes nothing away from any of these schools that we've just mentioned. Several of them are having great seasons. But if you have a student population of 1,500 you're drawing from, versus 150 you're drawing from.
Exactly.
And you get on the field, you're dealing with physical differences in the ball teams. Now, occasionally we've seen where the smaller rural schools can come in and they'll topple a big program.
You look at Jacksonville Vols, which is everybody go, oh, this guy won so many games. Let him go coach a real job. Anybody and their brother could go Jacksonville Vols with an all-star football team.
Just fun. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Lakeland, they always win, but he does it at a public school, and he doesn't have to recruit. What happens down there with Bill Shields is that, matter of fact, he was in the hospital not too long ago. When they become juniors and seniors, they all transfer in because why? Every year they got all these guys getting scholarships all over the country, and they always win. I coached in Polk County. I know he's a good man, but we're doing it wrong in Florida. I'm an old guy the old way. We should have our districts. You take the top 2 teams that get to go play. And some years it's true you're going to be in a tougher district than others. But you like you talk about, you got enrollment from these numbers. This is where you're going to play. If you're under that, this is where you're going to play. But I don't know. I don't know how we've gotten where we've gotten.
The one thing I do like is that you are seeing some cross-pollination across the state. So even first round, you may have a team from St. Augustine traveling to play over here in the Panhandle somewhere versus just playing, out of your area. And so I like that. But you're right. These power rankings, congrats to the teams for being as high up as they are. It points to them having a great season. But a 3-loss Mosley against some of these teams ahead of them, you're going to take the Dolphins.
Oh, they would spank half those teams you mentioned.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, but it is interesting because it's going to factor in for what we have with teams that may not win their district, but now need those AQ spots to get in based on the rankings that come out. So let's get into it. Fewer games this week that we're going to pick. I'm going to start with Vernon getting their first win over Graceville. Tough season, for Vernon right out of the get-go, losing their head coach tragically. They see if they can make it 2 in a row at North Bay Haven, 2-5. 1-6 Vernon, 2-5 North Bay Haven.
I was thinking about everything they've gone through this year because yesterday afternoon I was coming back and I actually drove right past Vernon High School and I got to thinking about it. I'm with you. I think they're going to pick up their win this week and. Unfortunately, North Bay Haven's just struggling a little bit this year, but I think Vernon wins.
All right.
Who you got?
I'm going to take Vernon. I think
where's the game played at?
It is North Bay Haven home game.
And what's the 2 records?
1-6 and 2-5.
Who's 1-6?
Vernon.
Yeah, they probably tougher schedule. I'll go North Bay Haven.
All right. Very good.
Give y'all a chance to catch up.
A big ball game up in Funiac Springs. Bluntstown 5-3, a little uncharacteristic for them. Traveling to Walton 5-2. They've dropped past 2.
Go say it. Well, I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
Bluntstown 5-3 at Walton 5-2.
It's like Walton used up everything for the season in that South Walton mauling that they had. It's been weird. I still like Walton in this game.
I like Walton at home.
Yeah.
Walton.
All right, so we've all got Walton. We've got another matchup of evenly teams here. Liberty County 4-3 making the trip to Bonifay at Holmes County 4-3.
I'm sorry, I had to put my phone up. Missionaries blowing me up. Can you say it again?
Liberty County 4-3 at Holmes County 4-3.
I'm gonna go Holmes County. Where's the game played?
Holmes.
At Holmes County.
Yeah.
Go Holmes County.
In a game like that, pretty even matchup. I'll take the home team all day in high school.
I'm going to take the Bulldogs. I'm going to stay with them here. Pretty good matchup historically, but maybe not this year. The Sharks of St. Joe heading over to South Walton. St. Joe 6-1, South Walton 4-3.
Is that South Walton?
Yeah.
Man.
I'm on the Tiger Shark bandwagon.
See,
I'm coming from a Gulf County guy.
South Walton has just not been what I thought they were going to be this year. They're not a bad football team by any stretch, but they've had trouble winning games lately.
They didn't score.
Port St. Joe's tough.
Yeah, they didn't score any points.
Yeah, give me Port St. Joe.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Port St. Joe too.
All right, so we're all taking the Sharks.
You know what? Wait a minute now. In the past, they've always played that soft coverage. South Wall is going to light it up the scoreboard. They're going to score some points, move the ball. I still going to push it. I still got
Yeah. I was going to check on you there for a second.
No, you wait and see. You wait and see. They're going to score points.
They'll score points, but St. Joe will score more. We've got Chipley 7-0 at Bozeman 3-4. Chipley's just rolling this year. I don't see them having any trouble Friday night.
Chipley's a good ball team. Give me them.
Yep.
Okay.
Really good football team.
And then a couple more. Bay 6-1 going over to Okaloosa County to play Fort Walton Beach 0-7. The Tornadoes keep it rolling.
Keep it going, baby.
And Arnold 2-5 making the trip to Tallahassee at Lincoln 4-3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm taking the Trojans.
It's got to be Lincoln.
That could get ugly.
Yeah. All right. So we've got one out-of-state matchup. Cottondale's playing Patola Charter, both 5-2. This team from Georgia.
Is that a private school?
It's a charter, but they play pretty strong, and I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Hornets going out of state. So I'm going to take Patola.
Yeah, same here.
They probably paid them to come over there. Yeah, I go to Georgia.
And that's our 10 high school games for this week.
right.
So I don't know where we are on the heading toward the break and do the college stuff. Or want to jump in?
Yeah, let's hold off. And
Okay.
do. Well, you want to get one in real quick?
Sure, we'll get one in.
One easy one.
Montana A&M versus Alaska A&T.
One easy one. All right, easy. Okay. Vanderbilt at Missouri.
That ain't easy.
I'll tell you what.
Can both teams lose a game?
Where's that game played at?
It's going to be at Missouri, and it's going to look like an inter-squad game.
I got Missouri. At Missouri.
At Missouri.
That's the only reason. That's the only
All right,
reason.
you got Missouri at home. The Fighting Drinkowitzes.
I'm going to take Missouri, but they're going to eke one out here. Vandy plays tough.
Yeah.
I looked at this one going, wow, this could really
That's
go
a big
either
line.
way. Yeah. So I'm gonna take Missouri at home. It looks like Vanderbilt's folded up shop. Yeah, it really
I like
does.
that coach's
They
thing. We'll
came
see.
out pretty strong. Got the win at Hawaii. We're undefeated.
I don't know. They played pretty hard. The Georgia game was kind of an anomaly.
Alabama knocked. Yeah. So I've got Missouri. All right.
Hey, guys, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get me a pizza this weekend. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, 3 restaurants in one. Phil Cobb and I went there yesterday, had a great time. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli has the best bakery around. Just try it, the Paradise Cake. I'm telling you, if you love sweets, Paradise Cake's unbelievable. John, we love you. Do a great job down there. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You're going to look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it ain't looking right, ain't feeling right, don't play around. You go see Dr. Ward today. Make an appointment today. Go see him. Do not put it off. Newbies, 3 great locations. Newbie 2 on the curve. Go watch all sporting events. Blue Sky Express Car Wash. Rudy's Barbecue. That Cajun place. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bigger and better than ever. The ESPN Northwest Florida Championship Giveaway. Presented by Buffalo Rock. Your chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the SEC Championship game. Listen for the cue to call weekdays at 7:45 and 4:45. When we tell you, be caller 10 to qualify for the grand prize. The ESPN Northwest Florida Championship Giveaway.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, cool temperatures 65 to 70, and light northwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf is 76. Mostly clear around 46 tonight. Mostly sunny Friday in the mid to upper 70s, and more the same for the weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. It's our 50th anniversary celebration. You've trusted us for 50 years to bring you the largest selection at the lowest prices. And now we're going to save you even more with our 50th anniversary celebration. We're giving you 50% off certified diamonds, diamond engagement rings and diamond bands, and 50% off diamond bracelets and earrings. 50 years of putting a sparkle on Bay County. Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. And you can take that to the bank.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to our last segment today. Jeremy Prison, Brian Haddock. Did I say it right?
No, but that's all right.
That's right. Brian's here. Brian's here with us. Anyway, we got our college picks going, and let's get back to it.
All right. We got Missouri Vanderbilt off the board. So I'm going to start us outside and then kind of nationally and move us closer to home here. A little different approach this week.
That's
okay.
Good. You're trying to mess me up. Go ahead.
UCLA at Oregon. Outson Stadium. Raucous atmosphere. UCLA undefeated. Pac-12's hopes on the line for a playoff berth. Ducks or Bruins?
I did not like this Oregon team at the beginning of the year, but I've watched them since, and they've gotten a lot better. Lanning's done a pretty good job out there. UCLA had their big game, Utah coming in, but that was in L.A. in front of 27 fans or whatever it was. And on the road, Oregon's going to get it done.
I've got Oregon knocking out the Bruins, and I'm with you.
Who do y'all have?
Oregon.
I'll stick with you.
Sounds
good to me.
Go.
It's hard to win.
Quack.
Go Ducks.
You won't shock me, though.
Okay, coming a little closer to home, let's get in the Big 12. Two big games. Oklahoma State, we mentioned the Fighting Gundys earlier, versus Texas. This is in Stillwater. Texas, Sarkisian get it done at Boone Pickens?
Not this week. If Oklahoma State had won easy like they were up 17 or whatever last week, I think this could have been a trap game for them, but no, Oklahoma State's mad. They're looking to get back into the Big 12 championship picture, so they're going to handle Texas.
Okay. All right.
And Texas is a 6.5-point favorite. Wow.
I think everybody got impressed by Texas with the Oklahoma game. I don't know that there's much to be impressed about.
That game said
there.
more about Oklahoma than it did about Texas.
Yeah. Now, Lincoln Riley's looking smarter by the day. Getting out of their cupboard was bare.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think Oak State bounces back and gets it done.
I got Texas.
Okay. Taking Sark and the boys. So, all right. Other game in the Big 12, K-State at TCU.
It's a big ball game. K-State has played tough other than they had one just amazing slip-up earlier in the year. They got the kid out of Nebraska, I think, is their quarterback, and he's played great. TCU's got their eyes on the prize, though, I think. I'd be surprised if they look past K-State here. I think TCU wins. But it'll be a hard-fought game.
I like the Horned Frogs at home. If they had to go to the Little Apple, I would be concerned here. But I think TCU gets it done.
Who are they playing?
Kansas State. I mean, I considered this for an upset special, but
I got my mind on something else. I'll go TCU. TCU is at home?
Yep.
Yeah. I got TCU.
Okay. Here's one that be a fun one. Battle of the River here. Tulane at Memphis.
Oh, my God. You're killing me.
Nope. Tulane cracked the top 25.
Now, I got Tulane at home. I got Tulane at home on this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I hadn't kept up with these
Tulane's top 25.
Tulane's solid team this year. Memphis does not know how to finish games this year. I've watched them a few times. They do not know how to finish games. They look a lot like Auburn did last year.
They've lost a little bit of that edge since Norvell left.
Yeah, they have. Give me Tulane here all day.
Okay.
Where's the game being played?
In New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I guess Tulane.
All right. Now let's turn it to the ACC. You mentioned Louisville earlier, Coach. A possible trap game for Clemson. But they got the Pitt Panthers coming to town. So Pitt at Louisville. Pitt took Tennessee to overtime.
He's on the hot seat. He's I don't know. I think he's probably gone at Louisville, but I don't know. I'll listen to you two.
I'll take Louisville here. They are a total Jekyll Hyde team. Pittsburgh's had so many injuries, though, and I agree, Coach. He's on the hot seat. I think this is a game he can stake his claim on. So I think Louisville will get it done.
Is their quarterback at Louisville ready to go? Is he back?
Cunningham or whatever his name is. I think he is. Yeah, I don't remember there being an injury.
Every time I pick them, they lose, but I'm going to pick Louisville.
I'm going to stay with Louisville. Pitt's a good ball team. The injuries, being on the road. Louisville's, I've been there, tough place to play. Give me the Cards. All right. Syracuse, Clemson.
Where's the game being played?
Clemson.
Clemson. I got Clemson.
You got Clemson at home.
I'd love to take Syracuse here, but Clemson's going to take care of them.
There's going to be a lot of orange at that ball game.
Yes, there is.
All right. We got 3 left as we kind of push along here. This one's an interesting game to me. I won't say it's make or break necessarily for South Carolina, but I do think it's make or break for Texas A&M. A&M's making the trip to Columbia. Obviously, expectations have not been met for where we were just a few weeks ago. And A&M is a team that kind of, you use the Jekyll Hyde phrase.
Were they both off this past week? I know A&M was.
Yeah, I don't recall South Carolina playing either. I don't know who to take in this one because Columbia is a tough place to play.
I mean, I've already hit my upset special this year with South Carolina when they went to Kentucky, so I don't know about this one, but I think I'm saving my upset special for another game coming up. So I'm going to go on and take A&M here, but I don't feel real good about it.
Yeah, I got A&M too.
Got A&M
you would think
on the
they
road.
have better players, but it's on the road.
It's a tough environment. Look, South Carolina was selling out that stadium when they were 0-11.
Yeah,
they love football.
It's a raucous atmosphere at Williams-Brice. So very, very, very begrudgingly, I'm going to take Texas A&M.
Yeah, same here.
But this could easily go the way of the Gamecocks. On the Bayou, going to be fun.
Woo, baby.
This one, I tell you.
Come on, Tigers.
What do we make of a team like LSU? You know, game 1, they lose to Florida State, and everybody had written Brian Kelly's obituary. Tennessee just runs them out of Tiger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go into the swamp, and they're hitting on all cylinders in a rivalry game.
Yeah.
And this is a huge ball game for LSU.
And it's a long-standing rivalry,
and it's
too.
a long there is no love lost between
You know,
these
it
two
opened
programs.
up. It was Ole Miss favorite. You know, now LSU's favorite in this game.
See, I still consider Ole Miss the favorite, which is why this is going to be my upset special. Now, I'm not going out on a huge limb here, but I like LSU in this game. Ole Miss is very injured up front, and it hasn't really been widely
They're not very
talked
balanced
about.
this year either.
Their offensive line is hurt, and they've been running the ball a lot. LSU is going to stack the box. Now, Lane could come up with some wrinkles and go over the top on them and catch them, but I think LSU's playing with a lot of confidence now. They're going to be at home. It's not 11 a.m. No, it's not 7 p.m.,
CBS,
but LSU, I just feel pretty good they're going to get this done just because Ole Miss really beat up on that line.
I'm with you. Brian Kelly, who knows, they might get beat by 10 points. But I'll tell you what, year 1, brand new program, brand new staff. They lose week 1 against FSU. The best player on defense line gets hurt. He can coach.
Yeah.
All these people say it doesn't fit. He can coach. I'm going to go LSU close.
LSU close.
Yeah. I'm like you. If they're beat up front.
Ole Miss needs a week off, and they don't have it yet.
All right. I've got LSU knocking off the Lane train.
Yeah.
Simply because I think they will be more physical. Auburn even proved a bit of physicality on Ole Miss this past weekend.
Auburn moved the ball.
Yeah. And I think that the type of game is going to matter. We were talking to Coach Whitten earlier.
Well, LSU can't fumble the kickoff this week. I know that.
No. And the last one, we've talked about it earlier in the Alabama update, the Bulldogs making that all too familiar trip down to Bryant-Denny, catching Alabama coming off of a loss. I've got Alabama bouncing back big and focused, getting ready for an off week and then the stretch run.
I agree. I don't think this is going to be close. This is a bad matchup for Mississippi State. It always is. This is where I believe Nick's players heard him when he said everything we have to play for is still in front of us. I think this is where they start to refocus and make their stretch run.
Yeah, I got Bama. You didn't pick any Big Ten games?
No, there wasn't anything big in the Big Ten worth picking.
I got Ohio State winning.
Yeah, there just really
went out on a limb there, didn't you?
Just wasn't anything in the Big Ten where you're going,
Yeah. There's some good games. So I was, that TCU game, I think it's pretty competitive.
The funny thing is the games that are going to matter the most to the national picture are the TCU game and the UCLA-Oregon game.
That's where we're going.
If you can knock TCU and UCLA out, it's going to be, it kind of paves the way for Clemson.
Those conferences don't get a mulligan.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming in today. Jeremy, next Thursday?
Yep.
Brian, Wednesday?
Whenever I'm here.
All right. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Marietta, 101.9 Port St. Joe.
Try to argue or hold it against you. I know that you're leaving.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is collecting relief items for those hurt by Hurricane Ian. We know the impact of a major storm on a local community. As our neighbors in South Florida and South Carolina start to rebuild their homes, businesses, and their lives, we're